Shetye. I'm a host of this talk show leadership being hosted by India Coaching Federation, and I'm delighted to have two eminent guests with us this evening. But before we introduce both the guests, I would like to just brief you. This is our 13th talk show on leadership being initiated and hosted by India Coaching Federation for the entire community belongs to coaches, trainers, and so on, professionals. I would like to just inform you that this talk show has provided a new opportunity for entire community of coaches and trainers and all those business leaders to understand the gamut of leadership, what are the different facets of leadership, and how leadership can create impact and the influence on the masses and the team members and the stakeholders. So before we proceed, I would like to just brief you. Today's theme that we are going to discuss is about charismatic leadership, and we have eminent guests. We begin with Dr. Dhirendra Gautam. He is a founder of Navi Mumbai Chamber of Business and Industries. He is also a chairman of India Coaching Federation. And right now, we are also talking about the scenario where the new development happened on women empowerment front. So he is again chairman of VSAIL, is a community dedicated to women empowerment. And we have a second guest with us, none other than Koyelia Ghosh Roy. She is, eminent personality in the field of transformation leadership. And her background, I'll just brief you. She's a senior AVP, BI lead for Enterprise BI. She's having 17 years of experience, and she's a postgraduate, and she's a digital transformation leader 2022 winner, being hosted by India, this India Coaching Federation and Navi Mumbai together. She has made her career shift from operations to digital transformation, and of course she's also speaker in business analyst and agile forums. Her major contribution is in the area of organizational transformation and change process. With this, I would like to welcome both of them. As far as Dr. Gautam is concerned, he is the professional from the finance background. The last association he had with various multinational as a global CFO, and of course he is a professional chartered accountant, cost accountant, and management accountant. And total exposure is to the extent of 23 years. So we welcome both the guests of this evening, and we begin with our show. As far as charismatic leadership is concerned, we are all aware that there are many leaders who have emerged as a charismatic leader in the world, and they have created their the impression, long lasting impression, whether it's John F Kennedy, whether we have Martin Luther King. These are the people, they have created long lasting impact because those people have really inspired the masses. They have inspired the team members to create the vision which they have seen as their dream. So today we are going to discuss about the impactfulness of this charismatic leadership. So my first question to Koyelia. So based on your experience as a leader in the corporate and your business coaching field, what is your experience when you feel that charismatic leaders have a tremendous power to create the impact and transform the team members? So would like to share your perspective. Over to Koyelia.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suresh Shetye. And it's wonderful to be part of this forum. And I would like to congratulate Dr. Dhirendra Gautam for the great work that he's doing on women empowerment and bringing along the woman power that we have collectively. And I think that's an example of charismatic leadership, I have to say, because that evokes an emotional connect for everybody, to contribute in his cause and take it, advance it to the next level. So, with that, I would like to say that charismatic leadership is beyond position. It is about the power of influence that one has. For example, Mahatma Gandhi was not elected. He was not a CEO. He was not even the owner of a media house. Yet he transformed a nation. This is actually what charismatic leadership is all about. One who knows what to say to bring the best out of you. He knows how to emotionally, or she knows how to emotionally connect with you and make you believe in his cause. The deep conviction and the strong connection that they have with their cause evokes strong emotions in their members. And this results in devotion, strong actions, and strong problem solving capabilities. So, for example, if we talk about Narendra Modi, and when he gives a speech, the enthusiasm and the energy he brings, it actually pulls everybody towards it, because the compelling vision that this leaderships bring about, it actually emotionally excites and attracts the followers. It makes them believe that this leader would be standing with them, knows and knows the entire roadmap, lay down the foundation so strong, and believe in it with such strong conviction that the followers, the team members know that they can do it. They can set higher goals and they can achieve beyond expectations. One of the most important characteristics, other than compelling vision, is that they can actually take risk. They're visionaries. They can see and bring change, and they believe in that change. Such a strong belief, such a strong conviction, with such powerful communication and articulation actually helps. So the two important characteristics that has come across when you talk about charismatic leadership is warmth and competence. One has to be really empathetic. One has to show vulnerability. One cannot show that I know it all because one doesn't. The vulnerability, the humility, the articulation that they bring, and the well laid out foundation of the cause that they bring in actually encourages the followers and team members to believe in that cause, to work to achieve that cause. That's the difference between a charismatic leadership and any other leadership styles that you talk about. There are many other leadership styles like autocratic leadership, democratic leadership, transformational leadership, and charismatic leadership. The charismatic leadership stands out simply because it can excite you emotionally, attract you to the cause, and make you do things which you don't believe in it. An example, we can also talk about Barack Obama, right? He had a motto that change what we believe in. And whenever he stood up and he spoke about it, the entire audiences were enthralled and they strongly believed in it. The another one is Vivekananda, our very own Vivekananda. His motto was Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Hitaya. That means salvation of one's own self along with well being of all on earth. This simple motto has established Ramakrishna Mission and Mott to such an extent that is one of the most revered institute. And it has really created a lot of leaders out of it. So charismatic leadership is just not spreading out the cause that you believe in, but even nurturing and developing future leaders as well. So that's what I think the difference between a charismatic leadership and others.
Thank you, Koyelia. I think that's the perspective and the insights that you have shared, citing the various examples of eminent leaders, across the globe, and that is going to give a lot of, understanding as to how a leader can create a difference for the masses on one hand, and how the same leader can also create a difference when he is working in any business organization. So that is a phenomenal, expression and the presentation. Thank you very much, Koyelia, for that insightful sharing. So, what do Dr. Gautam, for your views, based on your long-standing experience of over 23 years, and as a global CFO, you have worked with various multinational organizations, and you will have certainly a lot of stuff to share with us. Over to Dr. Gautam, please.
Thanks a lot, Suresh, for bringing such a wonderful topic to discuss. And I was listening, Koyelia. She was really explaining the things from a very relevant perspective, and the experience what she was sharing, especially about Mahatma Gandhi, Vivekanand, and even our current Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. We have many examples in India too. And uh, the point, of course, we will talk about charismatic leadership, Suresh, but our objective of talk show on leadership to make our viewers aware about the oneness of leadership. And when I say oneness of leadership, leadership is leadership. You cannot name it differently. Even you name it differently, it is going to remain leadership. The various topics, whether it is autocratic leadership or democratic leadership or transformational leadership or charismatic leadership or situational leadership, whatever name you give it, all are specifying some kind of characteristic of a speciality of a leader who is able to do something more than a normal leader. And that's why this beautification of adding some good words in the leadership has started happening. The second point I would like to share about the leadership, leadership is the highly sold word in the management and corporates. And if it remains only leadership, how long you will be able to sell it? So in order to sell it, you have to do a branding. And in order to do a branding, you have to create different kind of leadership. I have been working in corporates for a long time, and I always remember, and I have been working long 7 years in Unilever. So I always give an example ki whether you use Dove, Lux or Lifebuoy, सफाई सभी से होती है. It is just a segmentation has been created for different level of consumers to use different type of brand to sell more product for the company. Similarly, in my also I have been talking about the leadership is the inherent capability of a person to show their capability even the situation of adversity. And the people who are able to show the leadership capability in all situations, depending on the situation, they have been named through a different kind of leadership. When your industry, your business, your country, product, services are getting into a rapid transformation stage, technology is transforming, demography is transforming. You see, India, we have 60% of the youth population. Economic growth is transforming, leadership is transforming. That's why we always keep on hearing about transformational leadership. Nowadays, when you try to search about the charismatic leadership in Google, you don't find any leader from the recent time. Of course, sometime you have Barack Obama and lately Nelson Mandela coming in. But when you search in Google for top 4 or 5 charismatic leadership, you will find very interesting name. And first 2 names are Winston Churchill and Adolf Hitler. And everybody knows, I don't require to introduce who was Winston Churchill and who is Adolf Hitler. All the world knows, and all the world knows for what purpose they are famous. One is for famous for saving Great Britain in such a big war where there was no hope for Great Britain to survive. Winston Churchill stand out there as a leader, and the country survived and won the war. At the same time, when we see the Adolf Hitler, after whatever happened in First World War, in a span of 10 to 15 years, taking their country from so much of restriction, so much of punishment, so much of harassment, to be ready for the Second World War. And till war was going, nobody has believed that Germany is going to get defeated. So the charisma what Hitler was able to show that time to their people, the confidence, the faith, the vision, the revenge, what he or she supposed to take it from the part of the world, and he was able to reach up to that level, and he is able to show a challenging command to the world leaders. And that's why, in spite of doing all wrong things, his name is also in the second in the list of charismatic leadership. Third and fourth name, of course, you will get Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela. This is also too strange story. In this 21st century or 20th century, India just got 75 years back independence. After industrial revolution, you cannot think a country getting liberated on the ground of Satya and Ahimsa. That was the power of Mahatma Gandhi. That was the charisma of Mahatma Gandhi. He says that you are ready to kill, but we are not going to kill you. We are going to fight on truth and non-violence. India was not being ruled by Britishers. Even we don't have power, we don't have our army, we don't have money, or the leaders don't have anything comparison to the British government to fight. The best way, the best possibility you can create, or Mahatma Gandhi was able to create, was the path of truthfulness and non-violence. Nobody could think of, other than the Indian people, other than the Indian person who believes in Vivekanand, who believes in Krishna, who believes in Gita, who believes in Ramayana. That is the system has given us the power, and Mahatma Gandhi has become one of the charismatic leader, because nobody believed that India will get liberated by that. And ultimately, Britishers has to fly from here, leaving the country by handing over to this peaceful leader. Of course. And then the story comes for the South Africa, which is the latest one. That is the country who has got liberated. So the charisma, I think in more than 22 to 23 years, I don't remember, but 20 plus years, Nelson Mandela was in jail. The person who was almost every time of his youth till maturity, he was in jail, but still he was able to create a moment being inside the jail, and that was able to create the liberation for the South Africa. Nobody believes that, and that's why he is also called a charismatic leader. So What I was trying to explain from my this 3-4 explanation, leadership is the intrinsic capability of a person to be leader, to be a leader. And leadership, the best word which comes in my mind, I define leadership is all about being responsible. Responsibility is towards your oneself, your position and profile you are holding to the organization or society, your authority, what society, country, or company has given to you, the people you have to manage in the organization or in the society. You have to empower and transform the business, country, society. At the same time, you have to create the future leaders who can further take the society or the country or the corporate to the next level of growth and success in making your company to a global company and great company. And without being responsible as a leader, nobody can be able to do this. So, as a leader, we have to be responsible for ourselves, for our company, for our responsibility, for our position, for our authority, for our people, for our product, for our services, for our profitability, for our society where we live into that. And if you are a responsible leader, you have an opportunity to resonate your charisma as and when it is required. And when you are able to successfully manage and take the company or country or society from the unfavorable days to a favorable days, you will be called as a charismatic leader. And that is the essence of being a charismatic leader. You cannot be a charismatic leader by defining your leadership capability. As a leader, you can always remain a leader. It is the people you are leading, is the people who you are influencing, it is the people you are driving, it is the people you are motivating, empowering, transforming. They are going to say you, or they are going to offer you the respect of being a charismatic leader. You cannot put your title as a charismatic leader. Your result, your output, your faith, your conviction, your focus, your determination, your commitment will deliver the result, will create a situation, will empower the people, and when it will turn into a golden era or period for your organization, for your society, for your family, for your country, for your leadership. There will be a day the people will be saying that yes, he and she, whoever the name is, was a charismatic leader. No doubt, our Prime Minister is one of that, and we are proud of being an Indian and a person who has shown their charisma at the global level. And this is the inspiration of all the Indians, all the professionals. Of course, we are not belonging to a political party, but yes, we should be appreciating the genuineness, the truthfulness, and if we will not, who will be doing that? So if we will not, then we are not responsible citizen. We are not a responsible leader. So it is our responsibility to respect, regard, and reward those leaders also who are showing charismatic capability in transforming their country, their society, their people, and their business, and taking to the map of globe with better name, better future, better prosperity. Charisma, as I have said it, you is associated with bad name also, and I have given the example. Here also, why he has been called charismatic leader, because of his convincing power, because of his convincing power, because of his dedication, because of his commitment, whatever faith he is able to create to the people of his nation, the people called Hitler as a charismatic leader. And he was a charismatic leader without any doubt. I was reading one of his lines somewhere in book, and Hitler says that if you even the wrong thing, if you talk confidently 20 times to the people, people will start believing in that. So your confidence, your faith, your commitment towards even the wrong thing, even the false thing, अगर आप झूठ भी बहुत हिम्मत के साथ बोलोगे, वो झूठ झूठ नहीं रहेगा, लोग उसको सच मान लेंगे. He has written in his book. So that is the power of charisma, charismatic leadership. Ki you are so charismatic, you are able to convince your people even for the wrong thing. The charismatic word has come from charm. There is a similar word in our Hindi also, we called charisma. But in English, it is called from the charm. So the charm you are able to create to your audience when you are interacting with your people, when you are interacting with your audience, when you are interacting with your followers, when you are interacting with your peoples, the charm they are able to experience being in conversation, being in discussion, being in talk and listening with the leader makes the leader a charismatic leader. Yes, we have to be aware of, we need to show our charismatic capability as a leader, but one thing we need to ensure that we should be charismatic for the good thing. We should not be try to be charismatic to implement wrong, unfavorable, unsocial, unjustified things in our country, in our world, in our life, in our society, in our religion, or anywhere. There are many, those bad things are getting influenced nowadays through social media. It is not able to create the charisma or charmness or charismaticness to a leader, but it impacts the society very badly. It impacts your culture of the organization very badly. if you are a leader who is misutilizing the power, your charm, your authority to differentiate, distinguish, and corporate politics, you might be able to rule the organization for some time, but it is going to have a longer bad impact on the health, growth, and success of the organization and the people. So, I would always request our audience to be aware of awareness, wisdom, and responsibility is the key of being a leader. You should be a responsible leader, and where you are responsible to your oneself, you cannot do anything wrong. And that's all I would like to end, Suresh, because time is already more than 30 minutes. And it's a really interesting topic to talk and share. And I would conclude my submission at this stage. If you have any further question, little bit we can answer, or we can take it to the next session.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Dhirendra. It was a wonderful discussion, and you have, brought so many different dimensions of, charismatic leadership, and the process, the way you have shared the various examples, not only, from Indian perspective, but from a global perspective, and how, in a historical manner, you have evolved right from, citing the examples of World War First and Second, and so on, with the Indian context. So it was wonderful discussion, and I'm sure the audience, they got a different perspective today. They got different insights from both the eminent guests today. Of course, the last question I would like to just mention about, since your role as a founder and chairman of India Coaching Federation, would like to just elaborate and just brief the audience, especially coaching community, how India Coaching Federation will be able to help them to create their own business perspective and the proposition in an Indian context. What do you, Dr. Gautam?
I think a really great question, Suresh. As I said it to you, that key leadership is all about being responsible. So, other thought processes, and I already shared that key leadership is a highly sold topic in the corporate world and management institutions, training programs and coaching programs. Everybody is trying to sell the leadership by different name, and it is selling also. So both way it is selling. That's why people are able to sell it. At India Coaching Federation, we have adopted a very different principle where we call discover your leadership opportunity. In spite of getting and rewarding somebody with a different title of leadership, we have created a research based framework where we say and we transform the business leader, and we call that program is called Discover Your Leadership. And here each and every individual, through a scientific process, get into a self discovery journey which help them discover their true potential based on their personality, what kind of personality they have, and what level and what kind of leadership they are going to adopt it, which is going to make them a successful business leader. It is very unique and research based, and it is patented framework of India Coaching Federation. Suresh, nothing like this exists anywhere in this world, because all the leadership training creations is bookish. In a We know that key human being as an entity, company is an entity, the position you are holding as a leader is also an entity. As a human being, you have your own personality. As an entity, your business has a personality. As a position of a CXO and CEO or whatever, that also has a personality. If these three personalities are not aligned and transformed, the true success of a leadership is really challenging. I have been working with the big companies like Motorola, Unilever, and Pepsi, Supermax World at a very senior level. 70-80% of the peoples are not happy with the job, and that is research data get published in newspaper. You are getting salary in crores, you are at the highest position of your profile. Why you are not happy and satisfied? You can never be happy and satisfied, because the personality what you have is not matching with the personality of what you are handling as a leader. So there is always a clash. But we are into job because we have to earn money, we have to pay our installments, we have to fund our households and education of our kids. So sacrificing our livelihood, we need to be in the job to earn money without transforming the leadership. For the first time in the history of universe, business leader, corporate executives, they have the opportunity to engage with India Coaching Federation to discover their leadership capability by understanding their personality and discovering their oneself to create a future business leader and become a successful business leader and CXO. This is a very unique opportunity. So far, we are able to create more than 100 business leaders who are working in a big company as a CXOs and CEO in the organization. Most of them are highly qualified. They are from IIT, IIM, Harvard, Cambridge, Kellogg's, London School of Economics. They have been graduated from there, but somewhere they have stuck up somewhere, and they are not able to achieve the position and success in their career, in their life, in their business. And we at India Coaching Federation, we are helping them to have a fulfilling career, a satisfactory career as a business leader. So there is a huge opportunity, and we urge all our viewers who are seeing it to us, if they have any doubt, if they have passion, if they want to grow, they can approach us and we will able to help them, and they can really able to discover the hidden potential, the leadership capability inside them, and they can create a future as a business leader, not only to create their own career, but to take the organization to the next level of growth and profitability. And they are the people who will able to create the future business leader. Once you are a transformed person, you can create future different leaders, future leaders. If you are not a transformed leader, you are going to part of the corporate politics and you are trying to survive to manage your position, profile, and salary. That is the difference. 20 years plus we have been working in corporate. Nothing is hidden from us. It happens in a smaller company, it happens in big company also. The levels are different. That's all, Suresh, I would like to share.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dhirendra. And this is the stark reality of the corporate world. And at the same time, you also spoke about various dimensions of charismatic leadership. Here, the closing comment in terms of how the process has been, charismatic leadership has been, taken forward. We always say that it's not the leaders who create that charisma, it is the followers who create that charisma. And that is very important aspect. So thank you, Dr. Gautam, for your quality contribution, and Koyelia for your insightful thought about charismatic leadership. And I'm sure today viewers got the different perspective, the practical approach, not only from Indian perspective, but from global perspective. And with this note, we are closing this wonderful discussion. And we are thankful to both the eminent guests for their quality time, as well as our all the audience and those who are listening and watching this particular talk show. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you very much. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much.
it.
That was